by the way.
Dr. Quinn, esports. Welcome to episode 34, ladies and gentlemen, special Go Leafs Go episode. Oh man, I got the stream open in the background so I can hear myself say that awesome intro. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am actually starting the show for once because we fired John Quinn. We've demoted him. He's actually doing some amazing production.
I don't see why I can't do the intro.
Because, why? Why should you? You kind of abandoned us today. What are you doing today?
I'm adminning a tournament right now.
And you're slacking? Is that why you're here with us?
No, I have to go in and observe the games and make sure people aren't cheating and just make sure the people are there and whatnot. And then it'll be all cast from replays later in the week. But I couldn't do production and do the games because I'd have to be like switching in and out of the games, and it would be just pure hell. So
right, and that's why we have this debacle arranged by Songers himself. Songers, how are you doing this week?
This is the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life. I never want to do this again. Don't you ever bail on us again, John Quinn. Can't handle
But you don't do anything.
I messaged you guys at like 10 a.m. this morning and was like, hey, probably won't be able to do the show. And then at like 6 o'clock, I messaged Nick and was like, can you do production?
And I was like, no! And the kids were like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm fine.
But we're here, so it really doesn't matter. We have Quinn doing esports on the side anyways. We have Songers finally getting a role in the show. Everything is good, and look who we have. We have some repeat offenders. It is Mike Daniels from Ralston Arcade and Vince Hui from Toronto Top Tiers. Gentlemen, how are you this evening?
I'm doing very well. How are you guys doing?
I'm well. Thank you very much. You guys are here because I heard there was a big event in Toronto by the name of Toryuken 2. Do you guys care to comment on that?
I'm alive again.
You had it rough, huh? It was really hot there?
I had a rough weekend, let's put it that way. But it was a good weekend. Great turnout at the event. The stream was absolutely fantastic. I guess the big thing is a lot of people noticed that I was fairly absent for most of the event. I would like to just say, I might have overdosed on Marvel a little bit. Actually, no, what really happened was I actually got admitted into the hospital with some health issues. So luckily for me, Mr. Mike Daniels and some of the other guys, I had as backups stepped in and really ran the show. Great, fantastic show on the stream. Empire Arcadia came out, brought some of their best players. Guys like IFC Yipes, who is considered one of the gods of Marvel, versus Marvel versus Capcom. And we had we maxed out at 9,700 viewers.
Wow.
Yeah, around there.
That is amazing. Yeah. You guys had 3 streams, I believe, for the event, right? And Mike Daniels was one of them. And I hear you also hit a new record for your stream as well. So congrats, sir.
Yeah. We hit. So
go ahead, Vince.
Oh, go ahead. I just actually personally want to congratulate Mike and hitting new records is always a good thing. Especially when you first step into what I would call the big time streams. Mike ran a fantastic stream. He really did give some fan service to the Injustice Mortal Kombat guys, and I'm sure those guys are internally grateful because those guys eat up their content. They are always starving to have their own streams at majors, and they're probably one of the most hardcore groups out of the bunch. I mean, they're not the biggest, but they're definitely the most hardcore.
Yeah. I mean, I got to actually go and see the venue. I got to see the event live firsthand, and I was amazed. Like, you guys packed a bunch of gamers inside this room. Everyone was so passionate, and in each corner there was somebody doing streams. There was something happening everywhere. It was so hectic. And what I was really happy to see is for the one moment I was there on the Saturday, I saw a player who I forget his name now, Dangerous, that's his name. And he pulled off a combo with literally an inch of health left. I didn't even see any health left. There wasn't even a pixel. Pulled off a combo, knocked one guy down. It was in Marvel. The next guy jumps in, pulls a connection into another combo, goes through, takes out the entire life bar, wins the match, and his buddy comes up on stage, lifts him up, glasses are falling, people are screaming. Those were the moments that I was waiting to see. This is what you guys were telling me about. What are some other moments? Maybe, Mike, you can tell me one of your favorites.
Sure, absolutely. So obviously the Canada-U.S. rivalry in fighting games is extremely fierce because the majority of the U.S. and the world thinks we're very, very bad at fighting games compared to the U.S. I would even say shitty, or in fighting game terms, free. And one of the guys from Toronto, Disgruntled Goa, beat Yipes not once but twice in top 8 Marvel, and I thought the venue was going to collapse. People were cheering so loud and going bonkers. It was so crazy.
Awesome. And who won the Canada-US showdown, sorry?
Canada won the 5v5 exhibition in Marvel at America's own game. They claim that Marvel is their own game, and we won it pretty convincingly on Saturday night.
Oh, that's hot. Good to hear.
Yeah. Nick, cue up the national anthem.
I thought people were going to start singing it at the end, but we don't have the. I don't think we have the unison or the rhythm for that.
You guys had a lot of American players there too, so I'm sure it would have been a little harder to coordinate. And Vince, for you, what was your favorite moment of the event, other than having blood squirting out of your nose and going to the hospital?
Definitely. Well, I mean, even though I wasn't physically able to be at the event Saturday night, I think the biggest moment for me was, sitting in the hospital, Russell coming in after the event was done and saying, "Hey, you know what? Canada beat USA in Marvel." That literally brought a tear to my eye. I was just like, it's not a result I expected by any means, and I just kind of closed off the night. Made the rest of the night easier to deal with.
It's like reminding me of like a movie scene, kind of. Vince is like on the deathbed, right? And the guy comes in, he's like, "We did it."
It's that clip.
We won.
It's that clip from Remember the Titans. And the guy gets in the car accident and he can't make it to the final game, and he's watching in the hospital room. So good.
That is literally pretty much what it was like. But no, definitely really proud of the guys that were on Team Canada. It was, we expected the Disgruntled Goa to do really well in the teams and singles. He performed really well in the singles tournament. He took out 3 U.S. players in the team tournament, and I have to give it up to my boy SCC Quandizzle for actually taking it to Yipes, who was their final U.S. team's final player, and beating him 3-0.
Yeah, he bopped him.
Storylines, huh? It seems like everything in the fighting games is a storyline. Everybody plays with such passion and stuff. So that's really wicked. I mean, we were really lucky to have this event in Toronto. And Mr. Daniels, you actually made the trip to Toronto. You actually flew in, and I know that we had some beers after the show or after the setup, on the Friday, and you were complaining a little bit about the Toronto traffic and the Toronto heat. But all in all, good trip.
Oh, absolutely. Amazing trip for us. It was really great to be at a big-time fighting game major, kind of experience it, draw it all in, and work on the side. I went to T12 a couple years ago just when I was getting into fighting games, but I kind of went as a player and kind of as a starstruck awe-goer. This time it was more, I'm part of the production, I'm part of the scene, I'm helping organize the event, that sort of thing. To see it from that angle was really awesome. And, the stream for us did incredibly well. We broke all of our numbers. Our max concurrent viewer before Saturday was 175, and we had over 1,400 people watch Injustice on Saturday. So pretty huge.
Shit.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, we did 20,000 views on Saturday when our total channel count was at just over 50,000 before that, like a year and a half. So it went really, really well on Saturday. And then Sunday was awesome. I got to help out with the stream. I actually streamed AE and Marvel, the main events on Sunday night, and it was pretty awesome feeling to stream the players that you watch every weekend playing in majors and being able to be the guy to, tell those guys to sit down or tell the commentators to do this or do that. So it was a crazy, amazing weekend, that's for sure. Tiring, but amazing.
Yeah, I got to give it to Mike. Even though it was on the Toronto Top Tier stream channel, Mike was on the stream, running the stream at the time. You broke the East Coast record for East Coast Canada record for the most number of concurrent viewers on any fighting game stream at 9,700 users. And that's you know what, that's bigger than my record.
Man.
It's me behind the helm, but you know, that's when it's like Voltron. You bring all these streamers together, and it just gets crazy.
Is Mike Daniels the crotch piece that connects in?
That was good.
No, I love you, Mike.
No, the red bat phone started
Crush.
ringing, and I had to pick up the call and answer. Had to.
That's good. That's good. I mean, hey, we need a Batman and Robin, and that's not an Injustice joke. That's just you guys are doing really, really awesome things. And you know what? I actually have a pretty interesting story. On the Saturday that I came to see you guys, I didn't actually see you, Mike, because you were busy in the corner doing your stream thing, and I didn't want to bother you. Also, I would have had to walk right in front of the stream. I'm pretty sure someone would have murdered me, so I didn't do it. But after that, the reason why I had to leave early on Saturday is because I had a housewarming party to go to, and the housewarming party was.
Nick, did you go to that too?
Yeah, Songers, did you go?
I got invited though, so I just didn't go.
You got invited out of pity.
No,
I
it
begged
wasn't
her.
that.
I paid
Don't
her
say
money.
that.
They knew you couldn't go, so then they invited you.
A lovely lady here in Toronto invited us out to an event. She actually works for Ubisoft, and so I knew there was going to be a lot of gamers there. But I go there and I meet her first roommate, and she introduces him, and she's like, "Yeah, he's like a pro fighting game player." And I was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "That's really cool. I was just at a fighting game event called Toryuken," and he's like, "I was there too," and I was like, "What?" So this guy actually came and attended your event. I think he participated. I don't think he did very well, but he actually said he's from Vancouver, and you know, he's always loved to go to these events, and he was really happy to hear about Toryuken in Toronto and to get involved. But I'm pretty sure you'll be seeing more of him. I forget his name already. Let's just call him Mike. But but anyways, yeah, he was talking about some of the things that are happening in Vancouver, really small things, but this apparently was a really amazing thing. I don't think he's attended Canada Cup in Calgary, but he was definitely impressed. So I mean, there's some of the feedback on the floor. You guys did it big. That's not a question. That's just a comment. So, but yeah, I'm really impressed with everything that happened. I'm sorry that I took most of the conversation, guys. Do you have any questions for our esteemed fighting game community experts?
I kind of want to know, like, how many people were actually there. How many were there?
As many as we could fit in the room, I think. From the photos I saw today, it looked like they had just like took a sardine can and thrown as many sardines in there as possible. And I also had, and when I left, it was a complete sauna in there.
Wow.
So I would peg the number. We've been in that venue before, and we've blown fire code. I think we were just under fire code this time at about 400. So
That's so sick. Wow.
I think that was the temperature in degrees as well.
Yeah, it was.
Degree per person. And
yeah, if there's a stench meter, it would be at like 400.
So how did it turn out by way of victors and points being given? What are some things that you guys can tell us? Who are like the top standing people from the event? Could you give us a...
Well, let's talk about Marvel. Marvel has been I guess is what I call the main event of Toryuken this time around. It was a real toss-up. There were people in top 8 that we did not expect to see in top 8. There were people who went out early in the tournament who should have been in top 8 on a normal day. One of the big notables was TOSF HQ's Joker, who everyone had him pegged as either a top 3 or a tournament winning player, and he was not even in top 16. And all of the Mississauga Marvel players who are known to be some of the best Marvel players in Canada didn't make top 8. None of them made top 8. B from Calgary, who was previously pegged as the best Canadian Marvel player, did not make top 8.
Oh. Wow.
So
it was a new bunch. So that means if I participated, I might have been one of the top 8. Is it like that?
No, actually, a lot of the players that were in there were already tournament regulars, but they were just, hey, you know what? Some people get past their glass ceiling, right? So
yeah.
So a lot of really big shout out to some of the guys that Kevin Chuchi, Blitzman, who we really didn't expect to see in top 8 Marvel, do really well. And really impressed with of course Disgruntled Goa. We always call him the doctor because he's an MD by day, I believe.
Really?
Which is really impressive. But he I think put on the best show, even though he didn't end up winning Marvel and lost to Diamond in the finals. He put on a great show and didn't actually use some of the characters that we've been commonly seeing in Marvel tournaments as of late, namely Morgan and Dr. Doom combo or Virgil.
Oh, did he play a more classy group? Because I saw a lot of freaking Virgil. I'm not gonna lie. If I have to see that cutscene where those swords swirl around him again, I might have to cut someone because that was way too much.
Yeah, that's the Gucci belt. That's what they call it. Or hula hoopa dildos if you want to get real specific. It's really cheap, but I think Disgruntled Goa did ridiculously well. I mean, to put it in esports terms, Yipes is considered one of the 5 Marvel gods, and if you call Flash a god, Disgruntled Goa took down Yipes 2 times in the span of about 45 minutes, so it was ridiculous. It was so much fun. The Canada-US thing really came through, and I didn't think it was going to be that big, but as an observer, trying to get the crazy crowd shots the second a match ends when a Canadian beats Yipes and the place falls apart is just awesome. Did so well.
Wow. So that's really amazing. I mean, I'm glad that you guys got to put this together. And what can what's the next major thing we can look forward to for both of you gentlemen so that everyone in stream knows how to get a hold of the fighting games community? What's something you guys are doing next?
You want to go first, Vince?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm going to take a vacation.
Needs a break.
I definitely need a break, but I actually make sure you guys, it's not my own event, but make sure you guys check out Ultimate Fighting Game Tournament 9, which is coming up in a couple weeks. That's in Chicago, Illinois. I'll be attending there. I won't be actually running the stream, but I believe Level Up is running the stream. But check that out. That's a really great tournament run by Keats of SRK. He does a fantastic job. It's a great show every year. And, of course, with Keats, we always know there's going to be Dive Kick. If you guys don't know what Dive Kick is, it's a fighting game that's made of 2 buttons. It's a jump button and a dive button. Sorry, the dive button and the kick button.
Wow.
It's two button game. There's no
That's why it's
joystick.
called Dive Kick.
Yep, there's no joysticks, and actually the game is community made by community folks. It's going to be published on, I think, PlayStation Network and Xbox Live. And it actually features some of the organizers in the fighting game community in the game.
Nice.
So actually, one of the guys, CEO Jabali, he actually is a playable character in the game. And the joke is every time he wins, his head inflates because it's his ego inflating.
Oh, nice.
But check that out. I know Russell has been planning something for the August time frame, so I don't have any solid details on that yet. But when it does come down the pipe, I'm sure you guys will be the first to know.
Wicked.
Awesome.
And Mr. Mike Daniels, I know there's we put up an image of it earlier on, but let me know what you are planning on.
Sure, absolutely. So we have the big regional Atlantic Canada major coming up called High Tide Throwdown. That's May 25th and 26th. So that'll be in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia at the Nova Scotia Community College, the same place we held the last one in November. But
Hey, Boston. Sorry, we scored.
Okay. Anyway.
This is the Go Leafs Go edition, John.
That'll be May 25th and 26th, and that'll have people from Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI, and Newfoundland. So people from Newfoundland came down for our previous event, and they're coming down again. So that's a really big deal. It's awesome that the Newfoundland guys are coming out again, and that's going to be the same weekend as UFGT 9, but that doesn't mean you can't have both streams open. Watch ours a little bit earlier than you watch Keats' tournament as well. We're being very ambitious. Normally we only run 5 to 6 games, but this one we're running 8 games. So you'll see me running around with my head cut off most of the time, but we're going to try and make it work. So big event coming out, and after the momentum we gained from Toryuken, hoping to have a lot of people there in person and on the stream. So definitely check it out. Obviously at Ralston Arcade would be the best place to find out all your information on that event. The Facebook event link is on that slide as well, but you could just look it up on Facebook, High Tide Throwdown. You should be able to find it as well.
Yeah, I just pointed to your Twitters, guys. So do make sure you guys follow at Ralston Arcade, which is that fine gentleman Mike Daniels, and at TTT_RXS, which is our good friend Vince Hui. And
do that every time.
I know. I don't know why I forgot it. I asked him before the show. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not supposed to be the host. John left us for dead here, and now look what's happening. So racism everywhere. And so, what I
Train wreck TV.
What I want to say, guys, is first of all, I want to point out that you're both wearing each other's shirts, which is freaking awesome. That's such a classy move. And the second thing I want to say is I had invited a friend who's into fighting games but didn't really want to come out to an event. He didn't end up coming in. What I found out is he's actually having abdominal pains. I think he actually went to the hospital too. So I let it slide. But what do you say to anybody who hasn't attended an event but might know that there's something happening in their area? Just give me one thing. Try to sell it to them in like 10 words. Like, how would you get them to come out? Maybe Vince go first, and then we'll hear if Mike has anything to add.
Well, I've been in the fighting game community for a long time, and really what it comes down to is, watch the streams. That's a good start, and then really, you got to realize that the majority of players that enter tournaments are not, what we would call pro level. There's still a lot of what we call pot monsters, but no, really, you just got to make the jump and really experience it, because the fighting game community, number one is, there's the game, but number one is about the community, the people in the community that the bonds that you build at tournaments that you really won't find anywhere else. I mean, there are people that I met 10 years ago at my first fighting game tournament that I'm still friends with today, and those never go away. And that's really what the fighting game community is about. It's about community, and then fighting games actually second.
So I will say that I totally agree with you with the community. Everyone seemed really chummy with each other, and it seemed like a really wicked event.
Chummy.
I will say that was more than 10 words. I think I counted 138. So, Mike Daniels, if you can do it in less, you win.
Frank,
right.
let me just cut in here, if I can.
Yeah. Yep, go
The
ahead.
lightning round is the lightning round is the lightning round. And I don't like this spreading of creep that you have. You're trying to take over and have your own little spot in the show where you proposition the guests to come up with like a 30-second sell of esports or whatever thing they're shilling.
It's Frank's Thunder Round.
So I can
don't
tell
like it.
John's jelly, but you're not the host, my friend. So enough
So
from you
John.
in the background. Next week, you can have your throne back. Mr. Daniels, go ahead. How would you
I'm
get
going to DDoS this Skype.
So I agree with Vince. You got to watch the streams first. The streams are the best sort of initial introduction to that, and then you have to come to a live event. When you see people come out to live events, you see the hype, you see the friendliness, you see everybody going bonkers and making fun of each other and trash talking, and that really gets you into it. And you hear it all the time where people come to the event and say, I've been a stream monster forever, and then I came to an event and now I want to come to every single one. We had Newfoundland come out to our last event at Fight for Infinity 5, and then the second they got there and the second they started playing games, they're like, we have to come to every single event after this, and they're coming to the next one and the next one and the next one, and that kind of fever you can only get from going to the events. And like Vince said, not everybody's pro. I mean, there's really only 10% of the population that would be considered very good or pro. Everyone else is at varying levels of description or varying levels of skill. So just come out and have a good time. And I mean, once you go to an event, that's what hooks you.
Well said
That
by
was
both
probably
you
not
fine gentlemen.
less. I think that was more.
I think it
probably.
was more, but I'm apparently not allowed to have any part of the show, so let's just pretend like nothing happened. But you know what, guys? I will say that when I did talk to that gentleman who I met after the show, and he said, yeah, I attended this event, it seemed really cool. He explicitly told me, he's like, if you want like any sort of competition or any sort of real experience in the fighting game community, you need to attend these events. You can maybe play online. I mean, we were talking about netcode before. It's not necessarily the best, but if you really want to experience what it is to be in a fighting game community, you have to be shoulder to shoulder with the guy next to you, and this is where you're going to see the best of the best. So good luck to you guys and all you do in the future. I'm sure we'll have you on multiple times in the future. Vince, when you're back from your vacation, let us know. Mike, when you've completed a new record, let us know as well. Thanks to both of you for throwing a wicked show in Toronto, downtown Toronto, and yeah,
Mike,
you guys are stars.
Mike, let's talk about King of the Coast.
Yeah, King of the Coast. Let's go. When's
Mike
that
and
ever
I
gonna happen?
and some gentlemen from Fredericton are trying to organize a LAN sometime this summer in New Brunswick, and right now we're getting the sham from the local university about using their venue. But it's going to happen, so keep an eye out for that. King of the Coast, KOC.
What? KOC? Oh, I see what you're saying.
I thought you were
trying to spell coast.
The coast.
And I was like,
That name's almost as good as UFGT because
Yeah.
if you write it down and read it. It's things I won't utter. But
Just a tease for the event that me and John are working on. We're going to try and combine fighting games, first-person shooters, and StarCraft 2 all into one amazing event. So we're setting our goals very, very high.
Looking forward to that. Let us know. And yeah, guys, follow these people, and you should hear more about it in the future. And what we're going to do now is we're going to be timing Songers how quickly we can exit this call, and he can set up screen regions in the next one. So you guys in chat, bear with us. We're going to go to a break screen, and however long it takes, that's how long Songers takes to do production. So
can I give a quick shout out?
Yeah, please, dude.
I just want to give a shout out to Lapchi Duong, who's actually the guy who runs Canada Cup. I noticed he's on the stream, so I just want to give a quick shout out to him.
Nice. Shout out to you. Awesome. Anything else you guys want to add? I'm sorry if I'm new to this. I don't know how I'm supposed to close. The outros are new to me. So if you guys want anything you want to close with, or are we going to the Songers debacle?
Mike, what are your Group A predictions?
Group A. Who's in Group A again?
Let me pull it up, but I think it's...
Roro. Is
Yeah.
it Roro? Yeah, well, Roro and who else is in that group? Oh, Yoda. Yeah, he won IEM. If he doesn't get out, I think that would be pretty
Yeah,
bad.
Roro, Flying, Yoda, and Sulky.
Oh, Sulky's in there too, though. Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Yoda and Roro. That's pretty chalky of me. Pick the favorites, but I think that's what'll happen.
I don't know, man. Roro's not playing that well lately. Yeah, I'm down with that. I really like Group D, though.
Are you guys done with your bromance? Can I move on
Almost.
to the show?
Mike and I haven't talked in a while, okay?
You have to work on. You have to work on KOT. I'm not going to say the other thing, but KOT. I won't say the abbreviation.
KOTC.
Yeah, there we go.
Instead of going to a break to do the production changes, can I just talk about my trip to Boston?
While I do it, that would work. Because I
Oh.
don't feel like how... Okay, this is my question.
Okay, so we have to cancel this call and start the next one. So as soon as we start the next one, you
We
can
don't have
talk
to cancel the call. Can we just add Drekken into this one?
I guess we could.
Dum 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 dum.
Okay,
You know what?
bye.
Thank you so much, Mike and Vince. Really appreciate having you guys on, and thank you so much for the wicked event and the stream.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks as always. An awesome
yeah,
time.
thanks guys. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, gents. Love you, Vince. Hui.
All right, so this is the point where our screen regions will get messed up. So, Songers, please do your magic. John Quinn, regale us with your story about your trip to Boston.
Yeah, so last minute on Wednesday, I had a friend contact me from Halifax and say, hey, let's go to the Boston-Toronto game in Boston Saturday nights. And I said, that's a terrible idea. I hate both those teams. And he said, come on. And I said, okay. And so we went down Friday after work, stayed in Portland, and I thought about our 50 chicken nugget deal and how America loves... Oh, Drekken wants to show video. So we were laughing about how in America it's all, do you want, this small sundae or do you want the extra large 4 gallons for 12 cents extra? And so we sat down at Pizza Hut on the way and we ordered a medium, and the girl was like, you can get a large for the exact same price. And we were just like, why do you guys have a medium? She was just like, no, it's the same price. And so we each got our own pizza, and it was just like 18 feet of pizza at this table. We ate 1 slice each, and we're like, can we go now? So that was our first dip into the American lifestyle. And then we went to Fenway for a bit and Quincy Market, and I ended up being in a busker show on Saturday. There was a guy from Australia, contortionist, and he put his body through a squash racket, and then he was juggling machetes, and he was juggling a chainsaw. And he put this pole in the middle of his little area, and the pole had 4 ropes coming off the top of it. And the pole was probably 15 feet high, and he got me and 3 other dudes to hold a piece of the rope, and so we're all in a quadrant holding the rope tight so the pole stays up. And then he climbed to the top of the pole and juggled 4 machetes while this giant sword thing was swinging on his mouth.
He beat your story, John. But keep going. I want to hear the end of this.
And the entire time, like I was standing there holding this rope, like beating sun on me, and I was wearing like a jacket and pants, and I was just like sweating, and I was just thinking like, please don't die. Like if you pass out, like this dude will drop his machete, and people will die here at Quincy Market. So it took all my concentration to not die and kill many people, and so that was super fun. And then we went to the hockey game, and I don't remember too
How did
much
that go
of it.
for you?
It's good. They serve beer there, which I found out, and the game was pretty good. I'm a Montreal fan, so the game was good, I guess. A team won.
See, but wait, before you go on, and I want to put this to the chat as well. John was saying,
I know what you're gonna say.
He's anti-Leafs, so he was cheering for Boston. But I was thinking, no, you got to cheer for the Leafs, not Boston. So in chat, if you guys know this rivalry, who is the real rival to the Montreal Canadiens? But go on with your story.
The real rival is whoever you want the rival to be. It's my team. I'll say who I hate. Always against the Leafs.
Oh, damn. Oh, that's Mike Daniels. He doesn't know what he's going.
Oh, yeah. It's an East Coast thing. You wouldn't understand.
All right.
And you're not even East Coast. I don't like when Toronto says they're East Coast.
We are. We're beside the median.
No, there is no median. Anything east of Montreal is East Coast.
Craig.
But anyways, the point I wanted to bring up the whole story, I apologize, Drekken. It's very odd that we actually get a story time. Was when I got to the game, they did this sweet like Game of Thrones theme song entrance for all these players and whatnot, and it was super epic. And then all of a sudden, the arena went dark, and they started playing this little montage up on the screen talking about you've heard this guy's story, and he represents what it means to be from Boston, and he is Boston strong. And I was just like, what? And they were like, and now representing our fan favorite flag bearer for the evening, and they said his name, and I can't remember his name for the life of me. But he came out, and it was one of these survivors from the bombing at Boston.
Right.
And he came out, and he had this giant flag that said like Boston Strong on it, and he was waving. And I've never heard a crowd be that loud in my life, and it was like I was ready to cry. Like I all of a sudden realized, like I looked down, and I was like, that's the guy. And the crowd just went absolutely insane for like 10 minutes straight, and it was very emotional.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that picture on Reddit. That was quite a moving piece. So
yeah.
Well, good luck to Boston tonight. Good luck to the Leafs as well. Just to be PC, but no, we're not here for hockey. We are here for esports now. We talked about the fighting games community. Now we're switching over to esports, and one man doing it big in Toronto. His name is, yes, it's correct. It is Drekken from Esports Champ. It is Drekken Pownz. How are you, my friend?
Hello. I didn't get to test my mic, so is it coming through okay? Can you hear me?
It's perfectly clear.
Loud and clear.
Oh, fantastic. Thank
good.
you very much, gentlemen, for having me on.
It's our pleasure. And so I introduced you as Drekken from ESC, as in Esports Champ. Yep. So can you tell me, where are you from? How'd you get into esports? And answer those two questions for me. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, I'm from Hamilton, I guess Hamilton, Ontario, the Hammer. And, Quinn left. And I have been doing sort of esports, esports for me has been a livelihood. Like, I love esports. It first started off with the Star League. Like, it goes all the way back old school. Mm-hmm. I always remember that the way I got into esports was someone was watching on GameNet on satellite that we pirated, and I saw the Star League intros, and I just was like, what is this? Why are there gods playing StarCraft on my screen? And it was Flash and Jaedong, old school Jaedong, and of course the Temp Emperor Terran. And I was like, I need to know more about this. And I stumbled on Team Liquid, found my way there, and then that's how I sort of got into esports, pirated a couple of Star League videos.
I love piracy in the story.
Well, there wasn't really a YouTube back then, and there wasn't really anything, so you had to find ways to get old esports videos, and Team Liquid was the best for translating it. And then I just opened up a LAN center because I was like, I have to help esports somehow. I need to make it grow, and I opened up a LAN center in Hamilton, and then I just sort of ran tournaments out of it. So that's how I sort of got my tournament start.
So tell me, what is the esports scene like in Hamilton? I guess you're in Toronto now, but like, does Hamilton have some sort of a big scene that we're just not aware of?
Hamilton, like, I guess what's the best way to comment Hamilton? Hamilton is.
See, I have a friend from Hamilton, and all he tells me stories about him is like spray painting tags on walls and like a rough youth experience. So paint a new picture for me, please.
Gangs, we call them gangs.
Hamilton is I love this. I love Hamilton. It's an awesome place. It does have a little rough. It's kind of like a little rough. It's like a Detroit kind of.
Isn't it like Steel Town or something?
Yeah, it's like the Steel City of
that's the thing. It was Steel's Town, but there's no more steel anymore. So it's like plastic.
The pollution's there though.
Yeah, that's
the water. It's nice.
That's still there. It's still there. It's absolutely still there.
But the esports scene, what's that like at all?
You know what? When I had my LAN center, we really started to do big things there. Vince actually is where I met Vince, who was just on here. He's from Hamilton, so that's how we first connected, and we did some tournaments out there. And he's holding it down there with the fighting game community. Big fighting game. Some of the best fighting game players are out of Hamilton. Vince, obviously, and Nagata Locke. So the fighting game community is stronger there. At StarCraft, not so much. A little bit bigger. There's some good StarCraft thing. McMaster University has a great LAN group. They do some awesome things out of that. But when I was in Hamilton, there wasn't really much. We weren't doing much StarCraft. It was more fighting game stuff. So
nice.
I see.
So, this now is talking from my experience. When I first met Drekken, it was at Anime North, and it was through StarCraft. So, Drekken, I know you have a pretty big role in Anime North. Maybe you can talk a bit about that. What role do you play there? Because I know it's coming up very soon.
Yeah, so to bring down Anime North, I am the video game coordinator, which means I am responsible for all things that plugs into a wall and makes video game stuff happen at Anime North. If
all the important parts of Anime North, right?
Yes, in my honestly, as far as I have been going to Anime North for 7 years, and since I started doing the gaming stuff, I have not left that hotel. I have not seen. I have not seen the rest of the convention because that hotel becomes, for those 3 days, that hotel becomes my life. So.
How did you find your way into, I guess, that kind of position, doing the video game coordination in there? Because it's such a big event, right?
Mm-hmm. And Anime North is the largest fan-run convention in the country. So it is definitely huge. They've had to cap it because it's too much. It's just massive. Right. Because I don't know if any of you are familiar with Fan Expo, there's just, there can be overcrowding issues. So Anime North has done a great job of managing their community, managing their audience, and making sure that everyone still has a great time and, they manage the traffic properly. So the way I got into it was I was just like a convention goer. I'm a huge anime fan. If you see me on my Twitter, I talk about anime all the time. I'm a huge little otaku. And I just Anime North used to be my vacation. I used to, when I had my LAN center, I would have all my employees work that weekend and I'd go to Anime North because that was the one day of year that I could just be a kid again.
Yeah.
So I started to go to the gaming section, their fighting game stuff. So I would help out, right? I'd go there and help out once in a while. I've run tournaments before. I have a LAN center. And I met up with the people who were organizing it. And they said, we're short this, and this, monitors and stuff. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I have a LAN center. So I went and grabbed that stuff and I brought it down to Anime North. And, I slowly started to infiltrate the hive.
Awesome. So let's say I've never heard about Anime North. When is it? Where is it? What's the cost? How can I get there?
Sure. So Anime North is at the Toronto Congress Centre, which is by the airport, so Dixon Road. Mm-hmm. It spans over 4 buildings. So the Congress Centre is the hub. This is where you go, where you want to buy the anime paraphernalia. If you want to buy meet the guests and stuff like that and get stuff signed and like that. And then you have the Sheridan, which is where I am organizing, is all the gaming stuff. So this is handheld gaming. This is this is video games. This is LAN games. This is board games. There's LARPing. There's everything.
Love LARPing.
Quinn, you're a LARPer, aren't you? I bet it.
Oh yeah. Big LARPer. Best LARPer
Guy
NA.
with like a huge like hammer. He did,
Lightning
like,
bolt.
hammer LARPer.
Lightning bolt.
Oh man, the cosplays at Anime North are absolutely ridiculous. Like there's some fantastic
God.
cosplays. I cosplay once in a while.
Awesome.
Wait, I should admit that.
Are there pictures of you on the internet?
There are pictures of me on the internet. I'm sure if you type Anime North and Tosen from Bleach, I'll pop up. I think.
You'll be the only one, huh? Nobody
Yeah,
else
there's very few black people who like.
Yeah, okay.
True,
these
no, I
things.
have noticed that. So when I went to Anime North, I guess for the first time last year, I met you, and you were hosting like the StarCraft 2 and kind of like the video games going on there. So it looks like Anime North. Are you trying to bring esports into Anime North? And is that your goal? And why does it work? Maybe why it doesn't work? I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Well, Anime North has a very eclectic audience, I should say.
Right.
Like they love watching anything, I guess. Really, But I noticed when I was running video games at Anime North, we built a stage for the fighting games and like Naruto and those kind of games, and we had a really big audience of people who just gathered. This is before, like, it wasn't really like we just had like a projector, and it was sitting by the wall, and people just would gather around this projector and pretty much like crowd around it. And we're like, wow, these guys like watching video games. I'm like, this is like esports. So slowly and surely, like when I met you, Songers, I was like, all right, let's see if we can, how much esports can we bring in here, right? Like if we put StarCraft on the screen, will they watch it? And just like, and they did. Like they loved you guys. You loved you, Songers. If you remember, we had a pretty big crowd sort of just sitting there and
awesome,
watching.
yeah.
It
Look,
was
that was
fantastic.
casting before I casted with Songers, and we don't talk
This
about
was before
we don't talk
Joey.
about Songers' old girlfriend's casting partners things.
You weren't in the picture, but
No, and I don't want to talk about his old flings. It kind of makes me upset. Songers and I are a monogamous couple. You leave us alone, Drekken.
Hook me up with
it
other
was the
exes.
past. You can't hate on his
Past,
ex.
man. Frank,
That's the rules.
didn't
You
meet
can't
then. I didn't know what true love was. I didn't know what true casting was.
you can't hate on the ex. But if you remember Songers, there was a big group of people who loved listening to it. It was the first time we had StarCraft
Right.
on the big screen. We had Henry play against DD.
Yeah.
DD against DD as a show match, and it was just, to me, that was an experiment. It was like, if we put StarCraft here in an anime convention, will people gather to watch?
Awesome.
And they did. They came, and now I'm like, okay, let's step it up.
So this year, stepping it up.
Yeah, so this year, stepping it up with my organization, ES Champ, we're organizing the Elite Series, which essentially we took a bunch of Montreal and a bunch of Toronto, and we made them fight. And and we played it out to basically have the finals at Anime North. So we put the top 8 from that series, which we've been playing out of the Microsoft Store every Friday. And this week is the last week. It's going to be Angeles versus Masa, and that will conclude, and we'll figure out who goes to Anime North at the end of the month to play it out, the brackets, all Saturday. Pretty much all Saturday. Actually, yes, the majority of the Saturday from 10 a.m. all the way to 6, followed by League of Legends.
Awesome.
Oh, so I have a feeling for some reason League of Legends will do really well because you could cosplay the crap out of League of Legends.
League of Legends is, at Anime North as well, is incredibly large. We had to turn people away.
Wow.
We had 40 teams or something, 40 people, sorry. 40 people? Yeah, 40 to 60 people last year. And we had to, as the coordinator of the gaming section, I'm a little biased, so I expanded our section by 4 times now, so that we can fit League of Legends, so we can fit StarCraft, we can fit all the fighting games and stuff like that. Because before, it was just one room. So if you remember, it was just like one section of the room, which is called Ambrosia 4. So what we did this time is I petitioned to the executives and I told them that there was so much crowding last time and there was so much traffic that we need to expand it. So they moved everybody out and moved them to the other parts of the convention, and we got Ambrosia's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we've built ourselves a huge stage in the middle of the convention with front seating, just like totally snapjack from MLG. So we have our main stage. And then our competitors to the right, which will be in Ambrosia 3 and 4, which will house the LAN section, which can pretty much seat about 110 people. and it's pretty much coming to that cap.
I want to see.
To the Ambrosia's 1 and 2 will hold the console games, which will be Super Street Fighter 4, Marvel, Naruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 times 6. I don't know. There's so many iterations of that game, and it will be fantastic.
So last time you did this, it was kind of an experiment. This year you have a finals happening, a big event, and lots of space. It sounds like esports is going to take over all the anime conventions. So tell me, what's your ideal goal for Anime North and esports for the video games division that you are running? What would you love to see? Like if you could do it this year, you would have done it this year. But what is the ideal goal?
For me, the ideal goal for Anime North in general, for me, when I decided to do this, is because I wanted to introduce esports to an audience that may not have actually heard of esports, right? Because esports, like if you're in esports, you're on Team Liquid, you're in all those spaces, and you're all over the place. For me, the ideal goal is to put on a high level production. That's what I love to do. I love to put on esports productions. That's my passion. That's my love, is putting on a passion. Like I watched DreamHack, I watched IPL when it was on, and I love the productions. I foam at the mouth when I watch the production value. That's the stuff that gets me excited. So for me, my ideal goal, and it may not be this year, but maybe the next year or year after that, is have like lights and intros and
and airplane hangers,
and airplane hangers,
bringing flash.
You saw my Facebook. Yes, exactly. That's actually the kind of stuff I idolize, right? That high over top.
You've been reading my diary again.
Yeah, that kind of the over top production value. Like smoke coming down and introducing like flash. That'd be awesome, actually, to bring flash up.
Right. If you bring flash, I'll come and I will leave my wife because she will otherwise. So,
deal.
What I want to ask now, and quickly because I know John is itching to get to the lightning round. I really want to know. You've recently started doing some events with a new game that's branching into the esports market called Shoot Mania. So. Maybe you can just give, like, some people may never have heard of this or never even realized the competitive nature of the game. So maybe you could give me a little bit of a clarification. What is this game, and why does it lend itself so well to the esports scene?
So we did a launch party for Shoot Mania. Ubisoft approached us, and they're like, hey, we want to get some sort of exposure in Toronto. And Shoot Mania is a very interesting game. I have to admit, like, for me, when it comes to first-person shooter, I'm a Halo kind of guy. I'm a big Halo Gears fan, so when it comes to shooters, I'm kind of limited to the console side. So when I tried Shoot Mania, it was like, okay, am I going to like this game? And it was fantastic. It's really simple. I think that's what really comes to mind. It's a very simple game, and that really what makes it an awesome sort of esport is because of the level or the barrier to entry for people is really low, and you can really pick it up. So when we did this launch party, we had people who had no clue. We didn't really have any sort of pro teams come in. It was just sort of like, hey, jump in, learn Shoot Mania, and then we're going to play against the Frag Dolls at like 11 o'clock. Yeah. And, people were like, what is this game? What are we looking at? And they got right into it. The minute they learned the rules of how the game works, they were just all over it. So I was like, wow, this is something that I could see growing because of the simplicity of the game.
Yeah.
So it has a really great spectator client too.
Oh, nice. So you'll be doing some more events for that coming up, I'm assuming?
Well, for Shoot Mania, definitely something that we're looking into and seeing. We'll probably do a bit more experiments to see how much of a community, how much pro teams. We're watching it very closely to see how Ubisoft handles the IP. Just like anything, because right now esports is growing, so everything is just like, I want to dash a flavor of esports in my game. But it's important that developers give strong support to their games and ensure that they give great community strength so that the game can continue to grow, and it makes it easier to get new people into it and make teams grow. So as long we're watching it very closely and to see if those elements in it, because esports really needs a good first-person shooter, like a PC first-person shooter. I should be careful before Call of Duty people kill me.
I'm sure Counter-Strike's up in arms right now. So.
Oh, yeah.
There's no first-person shooters on the PC, guys.
Well, Counter-Strike, like 1.6 has a crown and left a big hole that Go, I don't think, has really fit, but I think that 1.6 is still that strong first-person shooter. Same thing with Quake for esports.
Well, sir, you are entitled to your opinions, but they may not serve you well in what is coming next. John Quinn, what do you have for us?
I'm gonna play the Sting. Shh.
Yeah, you're nervous now, aren't you?
I'm very
Music is on.
Yeah.
John Quinn. Please
He's like,
don't
oh,
get
lightning
wrong.
round.
There was
Lightning round, no big
there was an
deal.
intro. Oh,
And then there's
God.
like an intro video. I was like, oh. So, do you have the music playing as well, Nick?
Yep.
Oh, so good. It didn't crash either, John. I think you're fired.
That's fine. I didn't want to do it anyway.
You can do
The music does stop eventually, so you have to start it again.
I got it
Just
on repeat, okay?
Oh, snap. Mr. Drekken Pownz, welcome to the lightning round. For the people in the chat who are unfamiliar with the lightning round, it is the second best part of the show, in which we ask our guests 10 skill-testing, physically demanding, emotionally draining questions for everything from sports, esports, the weather, and the rotation of the Earth.
I should have brushed up on this before I came on the show.
No speaking.
You didn't check out your rotation of the Earth knowledge before you came on the What's wrong with you, Jack?
So, Drekken, the only rules are you have to answer the questions as fast as humanly possible. And don't cheat. Like if I ask you like a trivia question, don't Google it. I may even ask you to put your hands in the air and shake them like in fact you just don't care. Question number 1, are you ready?
Yes. Was that the first question?
No. I seem to have lost the list. Here we go. Question number 1. What is your birth name?
Oh, clever. My birth name actually is Christopher Connell.
Ooh. We will look up that for back checking.
Sure.
Just 1 second, I have to confer with my girlfriend on something.
Does she know me from a different life?
She knows you.
I think it's because John's not a smart man, so he's probably asking her a
I think
real
she's
question.
From Hamilton.
Oh, is she?
Really?
Because she's also a teacher, so she just knows more than John anyways.
Yeah.
He's probably asking her, so do we rotate clockwise or counterclockwise?
Do the questions also be shot off in lightning? Or
They're supposed to, but John is he's kind of playing this like Snorlax right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does she know me? Have we met?
All right. After conferring with my girlfriend, I like the consonants
I didn't know what consonants were. Oh my god.
of your name. Well, I wanted to make sure I couldn't decide between alliteration or consonants.
Okay.
I like the consonants of your name, so you get a point.
Oh my god.
Consonants.
Slowest lightning round ever.
Question number 2. The Toronto Maple Leafs or the Boston Bruins?
Maple Leafs.
Incorrect. Correct answer was the Montreal Canadiens. Question number 3. First console you ever owned?
Nintendo.
Which one?
More specific.
NES.
The
Nintendo Entertainment System.
So mainstream.
We prefer its original Japanese name, the Famicom. So you receive no points. So you're at 1 point so far going into question 4. It's been said that you are known as a bit of a salesman, gifted with a silver tongue, perhaps. Any viewers of the show may remember a previous guest, also the president of Esports Canada, Ken Silva. If anyone has had the awful experience of meeting Ken in person or seeing a picture of him, you will notice he's bald as a baby's ass. And so, Drekken, he's jacked, super jacked. You don't want to meet him in an alley. But let's say, Drekken, you do meet Ken in an alley, and you are selling hair dryers. Kenneth, of course, doesn't have much use for one. You, as the gifted salesman, need to now sell Ken Silva, the bald bastard of Toronto, a hairdryer. You have 30 seconds. Go.
Hello, Mr. Silva. I see that you have a very awesome head you got going on here. So what I'm going to get you is this fantastic hairdryer. You know why? Because in Toronto it does rain. We're in the May season. April showers have just gone by, and we got to keep that head of yours incredibly dry. And you know what? I'm going to throw this free do-rag. Yeah.
I believe his response would be, "How do you know my name?" Because you've just approached him in the alley and instantly knew his name was Mr. Ken Silva. You made me laugh, and that's all that counts. 1 point. So you're up 2 points. This next question is a little thing we like to call word association. So I'm going to name different units from StarCraft, and I might even throw in some other games or something. Probably only be 5 or 6 of them. So I'm going to shout out a name, and you have to tell me the first thing that comes to mind for you.
Okay.
So this is completely subjective. There is no right or wrong answer. But only one of those answers will get you points.
So there is a right answer.
Question number 5. Here we go. Broodlords.
Tywin Lannister.
What?
I get it. The brooding lord.
Oh, whoa.
That's super meta. It's super meta.
Damn.
Banelings.
Poop.
Oh.
I think we can call the game right there. You went from Tywin Lannister to poop in just one word. I'll give you a half point there.
Oh, man.
Speaking of Tywin Lannister, I'm glad you brought that up. Not only do you have the gift of silver tongue, but also it seems clairvoyance, because number 6 on my list is a Game of Thrones question. I saw you tweeted something earlier, a quote from last night's episode.
Correct.
So, question number 6. Myself, Nick, and Frank are all current Game of Thrones characters. Who are we?
Oh, Quinn, you're definitely Jaime Lannister.
Thank you.
Songers, you're Arya Stark.
Oh, that's a good
And
one.
Jovian, you would be Robb Stark.
Is that a good one? I don't watch the show. I'm ashamed to admit it. My wife watches it. I'll ask her.
What?
Basically, you're a manly man. And I'm a
yeah.
boy.
No, you know what?
Wait.
Jovian would be Jon Snow.
You know
No, that's way too cute.
Race.
I think he has the hair. It looks
has the
very
hair.
much like he has the hair. He has the Jon Snow hair.
Okay. I'll look him up right now.
He called me a girl.
Yeah, but if you had to be a girl, Arya is who you want to be.
Yes, this is true.
Trust me. Or Ygritte, but you know.
There's no Asian in Game of Thrones.
Dothraki. That's
It
kind
was a simpler time, Drekken.
of fantastic. I was just looking for you to say Jaime Lannister for me, so 2
You
points.
definitely look like Jaime Lannister.
The entire lightning round is just a self-serving game for John. You just have to
It took you
pay
34 episodes to figure that out, Frank. God,
So
man.
vain. So vain.
God. Question number 7. So you get to score 2 there, and the half point. What's that now? 4.5? 4.5. 4.5 through 6. Not bad at all. Quick check-in of the hockey game score. Let's see. 1. Fantastic.
Way
We can
too
return
professional.
to the lightning round. Question number 7. Your dream event. You get to throw an event, any esports. You can invite in any pros or make it amateur. Run it for as many days as you want. Describe to me in no more than a minute and or 500 words your perfect event.
My perfect event would include Bisu, Flash, Boxer, Jaedong, and myself. I would be the host, obviously, and it would be a game that essentially the players would play over a giant shark tank, and if you get dropped into it.
So there is like a limited amount of episodes you could have.
Wow.
And you're also killing esports, so thank you very much, Drekken.
You are literally killing esports. I can't argue with a Shark Tank, so so you're at 5.5 through 7. Not bad. Question number 8. The better anime. I'm gonna try and pronounce these.
Evangelion.
Jeez, give me a chance. Well, I don't know if Nick spelled them wrong or not, right?
I didn't
No, that was
type
me.
those.
I wrote them.
Okay.
These are some of my top animes. I'm just wondering.
That's not pertinent to what we're talking about.
Not my fault.
What is the better anime? Evangelion? That's what you said, wasn't it?
No, it's Evangelion. Keep going. I don't even know how to spell it.
Evangeline. Evangeline. Which is better anime, Vangelis or Cowboy Bebop?
Cowboy Bebop.
I've heard of that one, so 1 point.
I know these words.
You've obviously never heard of Evangelion. Come on, Spirit Longinus, John? Spirit Longinus? No?
What?
Trigun. Actually, switch it up.
I don't know what you guys are talking about right now. Anime is so far over my head, it's not even funny. Like, I've heard of Cowboy Bebop, and you guys have talked about Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I've heard of Dragon Ball.
It's not. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
This is what I mean. I literally know nothing. They're all cartoons to me.
Oh, damn it. Just keep going, John. Please don't.
Just alienating the entire crowd right now. Question number 9. I need your eyes forward, sir. Describe the room behind you in greatest detail possible without turning around or glancing in any sort of mirror you may have on your desk. If you do have a mirror, I ask that you put it face down right now.
You guys know his webcam's on, right?
Aha!
I have
his own webcam? Oh, he better not be able to see his own webcam.
You want me to start describing it now?
If I find out that you're cheating on this, Drekken.
I have a wall scroll of my favorite anime in the world, Code Geass. I have a framed poster of Gears of War. I have a sort of 3D holographic painting for Resident Evil. I have a bookshelf full of anime, video games, manga, and
Probably hasn't
Right,
changed
this is all
since
stuff like if I asked you in a dark alley somewhere and like describe your room, you could do that. I want detail here, something that's not usually there. Give me something.
like something that's not normally on.
Well, like there's some items I can see here in the background that I know aren't like part of the room.
This is a tough question.
My bag, I guess, is not part of the room.
Thank you.
My
The
Halo,
bag.
my Halo bag, yes,
Your Halo bag is hanging off the bookshelf.
it is.
Fantastic memory at one point.
What a roundabout way of asking. Tell me if there's a bag in your room.
Well, I couldn't say like, is there anything hanging on the bookcase? Because then he's instantly like, oh, it's a bag. I can't be too specific here. Wow, I did not come up with a 10th question.
Oh, damn. You should just ask if Avatar is an anime.
Maybe I'll turn it around on you, Mr. Quinn.
Oh,
What kind of product do you?
I do like
what
when
kind
you
of
flip
product
it.
do you use in your hair?
Trick question, bud, because this has no product in my hair. All I did was blow dry it. -5 for you. Never question my hair. I do usually use product. I prefer Schwarzkopf level 3. It's usually what I like. I can't seem to find it anywhere lately, so I've been using this terrible product. I don't even know the name. It's like I wouldn't want to say over the counter, but it's like just one you would get at like a drugstore. It's terrible.
Just Quinn problems. Just Quinn problems.
So, Schwarzkopf, if you're watching this and you would like to sponsor Esports Canada TV, I would gladly wear it on the daily. Schwarzkopf, the best name hair product. It comes in this little red tin. It's fantastic. It's not greasy. It's the next body. It's great.
Try
Speaking of
selling
hair-
that to Ken Silva.
Did you get a haircut, Nick?
I did.
You look great.
Thanks, buddy. You look great.
It's,
1 point, I guess, for that.
what did he get? Did he win a score of Q? Did he
No. Let me see here.
He gets an actual score, huh?
What was he at? 5.5, and then 6. I think he had 8.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's a good score.
Pretty good.
Is that
Not
a good
bad.
score?
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
You
it's
heard Nick.
completely arbitrary.
You heard Frank say, whoa. But I think 7's kind of the cutoff, so 8 does qualify you for the Tournament of Champions at the end of the year, where we bring on the guests who have done the best so far in the lightning round. So we bring you on with 15 other people for a 16-man bracket. So expect that. Never. It's not actually real.
There's also a Shark Tank.
I do like to see how excited our guests get about the possibility of a lightning round tournament. So maybe one day, in fact, it will happen. But so far, I've told everyone that they've qualified for that tournament. So it's going to be like a 64-man bracket. I'm not even sure how to like pit people against each other. The whole thing will be streamed, and I'll hold it over a Shark Tank.
Stealing that.
That's copyrighted.
It's a copyright. You can't copyright a Shark Tank. Laser beams on their heads. Drekken, congratulations on 8 points in the lightning round. Is there anyone you want to thank? Your mother, God, anything like that?
Neither of those, but I would like to thank. I actually want to do a shout outs to Aaron, who is going to be running the Duck Hunt and DDR at Anime North. If anybody who is familiar with Anime North and DDR is super tense. They actually go all night. Like, they start and they don't stop. Like, I've never seen something more physically intensive in my life than DDR. My Jenny Craig should actually put DDR in it because you lose weight really quick.
DDR Duck Hunt, I like that.
Well, they're not the same thing, but like, you know, they're around. Oh, and Just Dance is around there too as well, right? So there's a lot of dancing stuff.
My friend and I always talked about the possibility of being able to play Guitar Hero and DDR at the same time, and if you could just picture what that would look like, I want to see it
like
done.
A banjo player. Ding, 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 ding.
I also is it still my spick?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
I specifically want to thank my team at ESChamp, who are incredibly hardworking guys who are tons smarter than me. Like, they make everything work, and I'm just really there that points and says this, and this, and they make all the magic happen behind the scenes. I want to thank you guys, of course, obviously, for having me on here. This is fantastic. It was a lot of fun. I didn't expect the thunder round or lightning round. Is it the same thing?
The lightning round. Mine is the thunder round that John doesn't let happen. This is something you guys don't know about, but John, every week he scolds me and he doesn't let me do the thunder round. But yeah, it's called the lightning round. It's pretty good.
Okay. Okay.
It's the lightning round.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank everyone who came over from my Twitter to watch. You guys are awesome. Those of you who listen to me tweet about nonsense all day. Yeah.
And in chat, I do want to mention while you're promoting some stuff that I did put your website there. So you guys can always check out ESChamp.com and you can see and follow everything that Drekken and his team does.
Yes. Go on our website. Follow me on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, ESChamp.
Yeah, it should be under. Oh, that's your Twitter right there.
That's my Twitter. Yeah. But you can find your way around there. It's not too difficult. ESChamp, like, we made it very simple. Just type ESChamp along in Google and everything will pop up. YouTube included.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was super fun.
That was a lot of fun. You should invite me more often. I'd love to.
Man, the thing is, starting this show, we've come to the realization that there is actually a lot more esports than you would think. I think when we first started, I don't remember who it was, but somebody was somebody naysayed me and said, you're going to last like 5 shows. Who are you going to possibly get, like Canadian esports, right? But they just keep coming. So
the first 5 episodes, we didn't really have any guests. It was just us talking. It was awful.
Yeah,
we didn't know anything.
John talked a lot.
Well, it was us trying to theory craft and it was
sound like we know
2 platinums and a gold trying to talk about what the latest patch notes meant. We were like, what are we doing?
I was trying to talk about patch notes for so long. You guys are bringing this up.
That was real bad.
So mad. Okay. Let's stop venting. Let's talk about what's coming up, guys.
Yes.
Songers, maybe you can talk about the social that's happening.
Okay, so right below me, I have it on the ticker. There are 2 events coming up, at least in Toronto. Woo! One of them is actually next Saturday. It's going to be a StarCraft 2 LAN happening at Net Effect, 9 Isabella Street. You just come out, play StarCraft, go for a beer afterwards. It's going to be a good time. And then the next event is for League of Legends. I believe that on May 18th we'll be holding a online tournament. So this is called the Inhibitor. It's going to be a 5-on-5 tournament. And so once we're done that, there's going to be a final at the Microsoft Store.
Awesome. What about the Dota event? Isn't that not announced?
I didn't have.
But
I
anyways,
made
do you
a
remember the
mistake.
date? Do you remember the date? Missing top. I actually think it's clever how you guys did. No, you did missing.
Missing mid, and now it's
missing top, and the next one's going to be missing bottom. That event is for Dota. Once again, it's going to be a sign-up event 5v5, and that's taking place on May 25th. Also at Net Effect, but right now you guys should definitely go check out that event on Facebook. Follow Esports Canada on Facebook, and you can check out all the events posted there because I believe they're opening up the team sign-up soon.
Oh, wicked! And is it my turn now? Before John hijacks the ending of the show.
Follow me at ESongers.
Follow them and ES Songers, and follow myself and Nick, as well as John and Drekken, of course. But Nick and I are doing casting for the UR Team League, the underrated gaming team league, 10-week program. We just finished week number 4. We're going to go into week number 5. We're getting down to the best of the best teams. We cast the Saturday and Sunday 3 o'clock slot. So if you guys follow us on Twitter, you'll know when we do that. But otherwise, go ahead and check out Underrated Gaming Team League, and you guys can see all the wonderful stuff they're doing and everything that the team league is.
Yep.
Can I get a quick word in? I actually totally forgot something important. I forgot to, if anybody actually wants to sign up for, we have an open LAN for StarCraft 2 and League of Legends happening at Anime North. I don't know why that didn't even come up. I didn't even remember to mention that. That's actually kind of important. The signups went up for both of those, for StarCraft 2's LAN, which is happening on the Sunday, and the League of Legends LAN, which is happening on the Saturday. If you want to get into Anime North, the weekend passes are all sold out, so you have to grab like a day pass. The Friday's the $35, Saturday's $45, and Sunday is $35. All that information is on animenorth.com's website under gaming, or I'll pop a link in the chat, and you guys can like go wild over that as well.
Yeah.
So. But if for some reason you're watching a VOD, go to animenorth.com, click on like the gaming section or the programming, and then under programming you can see BYOC LAN party, which is the first one, and all the details of how to sign up for the LANs are there.
Awesome.
Wicked. So much esports. I'm happy, guys. I'm excited.
Overload. Thank you to our previous guests, Vince Hui and Mike Daniels. You can follow all their jazz, Toronto Top Tiers, and Ralston Arcade. High Tide Throwdown's coming up at the end of May, and as well, Halifax Barcraft has been booked, and they just got a sponsor from Labatt for their event at the end of June for MLG.
Ooh, wow.
So stay tuned for that. And you can
Nick So, good guy.
You can get drunk as drunk. That if you're 19 plus. Or have a fake ID. You talk to the guy down on Goddard Street. And other than that, follow me on Twitter. I'm on there at Quinn of the Net.
That way.
And as well, I'm adminning Flaming Cow TB, their open tournament tonight and tomorrow and the rest of the week. And I just want to pull that up.
Canadian players. Sarah Vadi, I heard you say.
Yeah, Sarah Vadi's in it. Who else? Sort of. The STC, Root Succeed, Massa. Who else?
Good guys.
A bunch of peoples. I can't really name too many because I don't know if I'm allowed to. But it's going to be casted all from replays later in the week. So it's all the groups are being played right now, and then we're going to cast those replays, I believe, May 10th and 11th, and then again on the 17th and 18th. So stay tuned for that. And it's all being casted by Gwyn, who's a guy out of California who does some really cool stuff. So
is he your evil twin?
Gwyn? No, I didn't think about that. But no, he's not. He's just a fun-loving guy who loves him some esports. And so I think it's a $1,000 prize pool for that. And then whoever wins their group play tonight, it's $50 for the winner of that for each group as well. So tune into that if you can. And if you're like, damn, who adminned this? It looks really good.
No one
you can tweet at me.
I usually ask myself that every time.
It's like, who put these two guys in a lobby together? Because this game is excellent. Frank, who's our guest next week?
We have Kate. Sorry. I don't want to say it wrong. We have P Mind and Cadium from the two owners of the StarCraft division of Killing Spree. So they will be on. I actually got confirmation during this show. So if you saw me checking,
have we been calling them cadmium? Is
Nope.
that okay?
It's Canadian.
That's
More than me.
fine. That's fine.
KS
That was
Canadian,
just me.
KS Mind, two awesome gentlemen. They're going to come in, talk a little bit about esports in obviously Montreal, where they are situated, or Quebec area, and also talking about their Wicked Team Killing Spree, which is a really awesome Canadian team.
I
And
love Killing Spree.
yeah, you've probably heard of quite a number of their players, so really looking forward to hear what they have to say.
All right.
Word. So
Word.
thank you, everyone. Thanks to our guests. Follow Esports Canada on Twitter at esports_Canada and on Facebook.com/Esports Canada as well. Join our website on the conversation there, esportscanada.com or .ca or .org. We own them all because we're made of money.
Thanks.